ACT Science, More Comprehension in Less Time, Part 1. This is Ken Boyd, owner of St. Louis Test Preparation, and this is the first in our series on tips for the ACT Science portion of the exam. St. Louis Test Preparation does live tutoring and test preparation on the ACT and other subjects in St. Louis and other Midwest cities. You see our email and our phone number listed here. You'll see our website at the end. There's a reading challenge that applies to science just like it applies to the reading section of the exam. And that is that we have a society now that invests in passive entertainment. Students now have a variety of entertainment choices that don't require them to be actively engaged. Instead, their entertainment's passive. It doesn't require them to read and think and focus. Examples include video games, web surfing, and television. The entertainment sort of flows over you. It doesn't require you to be involved in it. And there are some results of that type of entertainment. Students read less and have less focus. As a result, their reading speed is slower than prior generations. Their vocabulary doesn't expand because they don't see as many words or look them up. And they don't use critical thinking skills often enough. They don't have to assess and think about things that they're seeing and reading. We call this basket of skills active reading. And if students don't use these active reading skills, courses with heavy reading requirements, English, history, and the sciences, the topic of this video, become difficult. There's a possible solution, however. Students can change the way they read and how they think about what they read. So how they do it and what they do with it. People improve focus when they do something with what they read. Students need to understand why they're reading an assignment and how they will use the information. For example, in the ACT exam, you're going to read a section that's about 750 words, about 2 pages of a book, and you're going to answer 10 questions. They need to connect the details to an overall theme. That's the way you answer the main idea questions on the ACT. What's the main idea? What's the overall theme? And you can see our ACT reading comprehension video presentations for more information on this reading topic. But now for the science section. Science is reading comprehension with different content. A lot of times I put reading and science together and teach it in the same sort of way when preparing for the ACT. The science section of the ACT is largely another reading exam. Students are required to read in a focused way and answer questions on the content. This is really the charts and graphs exam. That's the difference from reading. This portion of the ACT requires the student to understand charts and graphs. Some of them are poorly designed and hard to understand, which you'll see later. Most incorrect answers are due to misreading charts and graphs, not misreading necessarily the words or the text. It's the chart or the graph that's hard. No prior knowledge is required. You do not have to be a science whiz to do well on the science portion of the ACT. All of the information needed to answer the questions is included in the reading. No prior knowledge of science is required. In fact, students should use only the information in the reading, even if they believe that information is wrong. So if you just learned in your science class that Pluto is not a planet, and you get an ACT question saying that Pluto is a planet, you should rely on ACT's information when answering the questions. That ends part 1 of our science information. You'll find part 2 on YouTube. For live tutoring in St. Louis and other cities, online chats, you can go to our website, www.stltest.net. There's our email and our phone number, and thanks for your time.